With a G or G. If there is G, I don't think you're old enough to be called G. You're still a little kid. Ladies and gentlemen, I remember about a year back, this guy had torn trousers and T-shirt also, which would have not been washed for 6 months, possibly or longer. Walks into my office and I'm looking at who's this strange creature. So of course we got talking and then I found that he just was only about $5 billion and that little gift sitting there. So looks can be very deceptive. So don't let me have a looks anyway. So very happy to be here. I'm so happy that my close friends, Mr. Alphons and Alphons, and because they are taking this initiative, the CII. CII has always been in the forefront of pushing for reforms, for things to happen in India. And from the time I was Commissioner of Delhi Development Authority, I've been very closely associated with the CII. I think it addressed more of CII conventions than I think all the other trade bodies put together, and they have a huge complaint. But I'm almost a member of the CII. Yeah. So I'm trying to make up more. I'm interested in the PhD Chamber of Commerce in Kerala, in Cochin. Yeah, I don't know why the PhD Chamber is going to have a branch in Kerala. It beats me right. I was asking Ajit, why did Punjab and Haryana, Delhi, why branch in Kerala? Anyway, that's a spread there. It speaks for everybody. Well, after Lee's very comprehensive and with all the data, it leaves me with little to say that where is concerned. The past 15 months, the message has been very clear. I do the talking and you guys do the work. This is exactly what the policy of the minister is. We are closest to the industry, the hospitality industry in the past 15 months. In fact, one day I get a call from one of the very respectable officers saying, Minister, what are you doing? You're meeting everybody in the office, you're not doing an ID check. I said, you do your ID check for your minister, not for me. Everybody who walks into my office gets to see me. Everybody who messages me gets to see me. I fix my appointment, I take my calls. And there's not one message which you will ever find not answered. There will be one call which I will come. I think these are simple things. I don't have a PA hanging around. I don't have a PF hanging around. So I brought my brother-in-law to Delhi and my sister who came from Kerala yesterday with me. He's one of the largest Ayurveda ambassadors of the world. So I was very happy that CA was organizing this. So I'm very happy to see so many people here. We need to push tourism in a big way because I believe tourism is the future of India. As of today, we are growing 84 million people in the tourism industry. And something which a lot of people don't know, during the past 4.5 years, we have created 13.92 million jobs in the tourism industry. I think this is one of the biggest job creators, and I think this is something which this national government really needs to speak about. 13.92 million jobs. In the latest World Travel and Tourism Council report, my rankings and data might differ a little from Deluxe. I think he has more time to access data, and maybe he's more of a man of wisdom than I do. So we are at number 3 in the WTTC ranking after China and the United States. India is at number 3 with an annual turnover of $234 billion, not million, billion dollars. Of course, out of this, 87% comes from domestic tourism and the rest 12% comes from the foreign tourists overseas. Last year we got 10.2 million foreigners visiting India, but actually WHO and the WHO standards, you only calculate international arrivals. You know the difference between foreigners and also the NRIs. So if you put the numbers together, it's about 15.5 million people visited India. Now, global tourism in terms of numbers grew by 7% last year, while in India it grew by 14%. You've grown at 200% of whatever is the global growth rate. And the revenue from international tourist arrivals globally increased by 5% last year, and India, it increased by 19.2%. So we're growing something like 5 times, our revenue has increased 5 times than what is the average global rate. Are we happy? No, I'm not happy at all. Because we are an incredible country, and as Dinesh said earlier, and as Raghu said, we have such immense potential for growth, for developing tourism. So my targets are very simple. In the short term, in 3 years, I want to double my ITA, International Tourism Arrivals. I want to reach a receipt of 50 billion from FT, from ITA in the next 3 years, by 2020. I want to reach 100 billion in 5 years. So these are very plain, simple targets. And I'm achieving them. It's possible. Now, look at the figures. China. Last year, 144 million families were abroad, the biggest outbound market in the world. How much did we get? Pathetic 240,000. Now, is it acceptable? No, we're just across the mountain. And there's so much which we share in common. The culture, the wisdom from India to China, which is again a huge influence on China. And the Indian movies, everybody speaks about 2 people, 3 people actually in China. One is, of course, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who's a household word. Said he is the biggest brand ambassador for Indian tourism anywhere in the world. We were somewhere in the very free once upon a time, 10 years back. Now we are at the separate stage. I don't think everybody knows Salman. Sorry, I don't believe. Amir Khan. I don't watch movies, so I don't really know who is watching Khan. Yeah. So, he's a household name. I think we have much more collection in China with Dango. That's his movie? I guess so. Sorry for my ignorance, pardon me. I think the collectors have grossed something like 1,500 crores last year in China. Third person whom everybody speaks about it, because Christ Chinese is so well read, is Tagore. Yeah, Rabindranath Tagore. In 1930s, apparently, he came to sister, and all the big cities of China and spent a lot of time in China. So Tagore is also very close. So we need to cash in. We need to cash in on all these things which are our strength, and then we need to how do we do it? I think take for example, UAE. UAE had absolutely no Chinese schools at all. What do they do? They systematically plan in 2 years, the numbers have gone up by hundreds of thousands. We need to do that. So we did a China show also, in collaboration with the industry, and everybody who was here was there. We never got on the front page of Chinese media before, but we can't do it alone. So we were front page. We go and meet the right people because everything is government material. And all the officials in Beijing, visited local provinces, met the governors and the party chiefs, all of them, and then we are on the front page. That's what we go about. I'm also appointing a strategic advisor for China because we pretty eager about the Chinese market. This is where possible CII can really help us with the rest of us. How do we go about getting more people? And my prediction is very simple. I would like in 2 years, I want to get 1% of Chinese outbound, which means it will be 1.4 million people from China. And of course, in the long term, in 10 years, I would like to have 10% of Chinese. In today's numbers, that will be 15 million, which is much more than the entire IGA we have today. And is it difficult? No. These are not difficult things. And so we have now strengthened our foreign offices. I spent about 630 crores only on publicity overseas and India, only 453 crores into foreign publicity. But if you look at some of the publicity material we have made, I think most of you would have seen that. The one on yoga, Ayurveda, luxury, wildlife, and cuisine. These 5 promotions, they're only 60 seconds. I decided so in the attention span of today, in a WhatsApp era, it's maximum 60 seconds. So promotions are only 60 seconds. Only on the social media, in 3 months, I had 193 million views. I think we beat Apple and Samsung and everybody else. We are the mainline media. When the CNN was telecasting the US elections, the midterm elections polls, there we were every 5 minutes, our ads were being shown to the international audience. In BBC, we are everywhere. CNBC, CBC, CBS, everywhere we are there. And these are top quality. Take, for example, one on yoga. Each of these 60 seconds has a story. Every one of them has a story. Everybody says that Ayurveda is for people who are kind of retired, relaxed, they have all the time in the world. Here, who is the model? He's a 20 nothing. And he's a motorcycle racer. We are completely redefining. And finally, says, the more you know about yoga, the more you know about motorcycles and about life. We completely changed the script actually. And the final punchline, the more silly you are, the further you go. So see that ad. We redefine it. See the one on wildlife, some Kazakhstan. It's about a person, he closes down his bookshop in Paris and he says, you don't need bookshops anymore. If they can't survive, doesn't make economic sense. He comes to Kazakhstan and he says, some beautiful pictures are there. And he says, there was only 400 one-horned rhinos in the Kazakhstan, but today there are 1,400. Now, if rhino could be protected, my bookshop also can survive. He goes and he opens his bookshop. See these ads. I mean, it's amazing, it's fantastic. The one on luxury, it's class. So see these things. So I'm talking about 193 million viewers only on the social media. Now, if you take the mainline media like the CNN and CBS and everything, people like billions of viewers are seeing these promotions, how to make it. Simple. These are the big differences changes which you are making. We are one of the biggest global agencies making food, but they're making rubbish for us. Absolute rubbish. If you don't demand, ladies and gentlemen, you will get rubbish. I told them I'm giving you one last chance. One. Just last chance, not two. You make a movie for me, you sit down with me, write the script, sat down with them, wrote the concept, spent many hours, then they came with the rough cut. My secretary, my department, we sat for 10 hours going through each of those frames and finalizing everything. So we spent 50 hours on 5 of these promotions. So that's the kind of effort and time we made. So we are on the global map. We need to bring in people. Now on the visa thing, I've written to the Home Minister a month back saying 2 things. One is we need long-term visas, 10 years, 5 years. I can make it multi-entry. Simple. I can bring down the rates. I also suggested that we have a visa-free or a huge discount on visa fees during the leave months, so that people can just kind of walk in here. Now, can we make it visa-free? Yeah, that's the first question of our national pride of ours. If you don't allow me to work in your country, sorry, I will not allow you to work in my country. Plain, simple. You impose restrictions on me, sorry, I will not allow you. I will impose restrictions on you. It's a question of national dignity. Yes or no? I think that's fair enough. Yes. Though I would have much happier if the borders were open much more so that we can travel, because tourism is the best weapon to get the world closer, to bring in peace. So I believe in us. We need to create basic infrastructure. I was in Nagaland yesterday, going back. I was in the Hornbill Festival. I don't know how many of you have been there. And if we've been to the Hornbill Festival, yeah, amazing. I mean, it's a great festival, fantastic. And I was attending the Shanghai Festival in Manipur last year. In the past 10 days, I've been in 10 states in India. Arunachal Pradesh on the Chinese border, Tawang and beyond. Then I was in Manipur, I was in Nagaland, then I was in Meghalaya, of course I was in Tabari there, many times. I was in Tripura 2 weeks back, I was in Mizoram, then I was in Rajasthan campaigning in the elections, I was in Goa, in chief guest of the International Film Festival, and I was in Kerala. I have no idea, I'm going to Kerala this evening. I fly 25 days a month. We just trying to take tourism, take everybody along and say, this is the country which needs to be seen. I've been in public service for 40 years. First 5 years, then as an MLA, then as a minister. I've traveled so much, still I've seen maybe just 1% of India. There's so much to be seen, so much. In fact, people have been very kind inviting me and my family to go. I said, where's my time? Yeah. When it's traveling so much, because we really need to take India off. I said, come on, this country is amazing. And every time I see something, like when I'm going to see the Khajuraho after 20 years, I know there are an IAS probation. This time I sat there in that complex for about an hour just looking at it. Some of these places are as good as the Taj Mahal. Everybody talks only about the Taj Mahal. The Taj is the beautiful crown. But look at some of these things like Khajuraho, Ellora, Hampi. Oh my God, this country is just incredible. 73% of the Himalayas. Now we have approved the guidelines for advanced tourism. I have complaints. The industry is not taking responsibility. Day first we had accident in West Bengal. One of the pilots who was on the paragliding, yes sir, he died. He wasn't even doing he wasn't doing something. Pardon? Yeah. Why? We issued the guidelines a few months back. Now the states don't bother to follow them. Now, you know, one bad case and it brings such a bad reputation to India. So my appeal to the industries, please take precautions. I was in Kolumana. I said, what happens in this rafting if a boat capsizes? You have a backup? They said, yes. I said, show it to me. Yeah, sorry. We're giving you the freedom. State is giving you the freedom. Please act responsibly in the private sector. Please act responsibly. I know it costs you additional money. The other day I was going in a ropeway with the chief minister. I don't know which state actually. I think with so many people. And I said, look here, on this ropeway, both sides are tall trees. I said, did you realize the nature of this? He said, no, please tell me. I said, recently in Switzerland, a tree fell onto a cable car and there was a massive accident. Unfortunately, they have a backup system. Even if you have an accident like this, they have trained people with helicopters who rescue. I think one person died possibly in that incident. What is the backup systems here? Now, these things must be created by the states in association with the private sector. I think this is where we all need to sit together. The various associations, you must say, we got to make this absolutely full. We got to be 100% sure that these are safe and these have a backup. I mean, these are things which we need to do. And of course, we have just issued the guidelines on bed and breakfast. Again, things are very simple. We issued the guidelines. Now, we need to train people. This is where we require the assistance of your industry bodies. We need to train people. I mean, these are very simple things. A clean toilet. What does it mean to have a clean toilet? It's not complicated issue. How do you have a nice, clean bedroom? You don't need a five-star place like Maurya, but you need a clean bedroom, clean sheets. How do you ensure those things? How do you have clean water? So fine, bed and breakfast is fine, but I think these elements are extremely important. I wouldn't like to make a concession for any of these elements in my guidelines at all. We need to have these fundamentals out there. Now, because Rudesh knows, I also have every time there is any incident anywhere in any country, I think immediately they get a bit apart from me. So, there was a small incident there where somebody had a little problem. Immediately I know Rudesh, and of course they took immediate action. This is what I like the industry. Whenever I take up things with people, the Indian industry is extremely responsive and they take it up. So I go to these newspapers, see any incident, you see even the one which on security, India. When there was one incident in Fatehpur Sikri, the Assistant Affairs Ministers and the Joint Secretary out there, tell me which country does it happen? Does it happen in any country? The Assistant Affairs Minister sent the Joint Secretary down there to meet the couple. When they came to Delhi, I went myself to the hospital. I met the couple, spent a lot of time with them. I said, when you get out of the hospital, I said, we'll pay the bill. They said, no. The embassy people said, no, we will take care. And I said, please come and stay in my hotel, Ashoka, for as long as you want. They were very happy. They were saying, so don't worry, Minister, this kind of things happen anywhere in the world. Then my question is, why is the global media blowing this up? About 2 weeks back, I read big news in all the newspapers. First week in 23 years, there was a shooting-free week in the US. Yes, in 23 years. First week when they didn't have any fatality. I don't know what you guys read. Yes, it was big time news. You have one incident happening here, it's friendly. Sorry, you get me. I'm not saying please don't report, but if you want to put it on the front page, I think we need to work together. Sorry, it's not only the Prime Minister's responsibility, the tourism minister's responsibility, And also the tourism board is here to create jobs in India. Tourism is about jobs, about money, about bringing the world together. Let's work together. Let's not do this. Do you find in the Washington Post or New York Times every day headlines, so many people shot together, there's a shooting happening every day? You have it on the front page. The lead news, let's act responsibility. You have the Paris bombing, shooting. Did you see one mutilated body at all? Anybody? You do not. Let's get responsible. I'm not saying see the news, lie. No, I'm not saying that. Let's all work together. India, we have much fewer incidents than almost anywhere in the world. Yeah. But if you want to grow it up, and of course, I also see a certain racial bias, like the Thomson Reuters report, as if anybody from that agency is here, saying India is the most unsafe country in the world. Where on earth are you living? Come on. Don't be funny. I think it's very funny. Completely irresponsible reporting, which of course goes into the global media front page, because these are very fascinating to write these things about India when you think that India is a land of slave charmers. I know even the WTO Secretary General the other day when I attended a meeting, I said, don't think India has a pushover country. Say your face. I said, I demand my power of flesh. We are center stage. We are the third largest economy in the world in terms of PPP. We are the fastest growing economy in the world, and the Honorable Prime Minister has put a right up there. We are on the top. And look at the performances in the last 4 years. 95 million toilets constructed. 45 million LPG gas connections granted. Every village electrified. Every poor household given free electricity connection. A house for everybody by 2022. We given away millions of houses this year. A life insurance, an accident insurance for 12 rupees. Does it exist anywhere in the world? And a life insurance for 300 rupees for 2 lakhs. Does it exist anywhere in the world? A free medical treatment for every poor family in this country. Up to 5 lakhs, any hospital you want to go, every family wants. This kind of thing exists anywhere in the world in 4 years. That is an incredible performance. We are right up there. Now we need to take push tourism, because these are our big things that happen to the country which pushes up tourism. When we are an inter-country, we can now about sanitation. We got to be cleaner. I've no doubts on this. I look at everybody's face and say, well, this needs to be cleaner. Does Delhi need to be cleaner? It doesn't need to be cleaner. Every city needs to be cleaner. But look at some of those experiences. I don't think it's fair enough to expect a Prime Minister and go and clean up every city. Sorry. He is appealed, he is made that the focus of his developmental plan. And so now this continues to be cleaner. Now, no kid today throws a chocolate wrapper anywhere on the road or anywhere. No, a kid would never do that today. But suppose we, older people, we will do it. Yes. And every time when I see a driver opening the door and speeding on the road, I feel like one of those my old DDA days when I used to carry 2 guns. Not anymore. I got to be much more careful now. Horrible. Why don't people take responsibility? But can we clean up? Look at some of the cities. Indore was one of the dirtiest cities in the country for a very long time. Today, Indore is the cleanest city in the country. Who did it? People out there. The municipal corporation, the people took responsibility, and they have done it. Take Vaisha, completely wiped out in the 2014 tsunami cyclone. Today, it's a beautiful city, amazing city. There are Dharamsala. So some cities have done it. Why can't everybody else do it? It's so simple. A village in Nagaland is supposed to be the cleanest village, in Meghalaya, it's supposed to be the cleanest village in the country. So people take responsibility and do it. Let's all do these things together. We need to build big infrastructure. We need more rooms. And that's why people like oil, who's setting a certain standards. I know, I've been reading from my state, Kerala, that the hotel industry is up in arms in this. Yes, I'm sure you're not there on that. Yes. No, but it is setting standards. You pick up things and then you say, this is the levels to which you want to reach. I think that's fantastic that you create X number of rooms doctor here also in China. That creates more of tourism, creates quality stuff. When you say oil, they can expect X standards. Now, I think this is extremely important. Take off Aisha hotels. Take this hotel, Mauritius. It's a flagship. Look at the Indian hotel industry. Take the big chains, the IGC, the Taj, and the big rooms, and of course we have these standalone luxury hotels, especially from Rajasthan, where I'm a member of parliament. Some of these places you have amazing things. Some of you have created amazing products. These are such amazing quality. But again, when we hear, you are talking about foreign brands being great. The other day, when I went to Goa, International Film Festival, I was sitting with one of those international chicks. I don't want to mention the name. Pretty pathetic. Go to their dining, it looks like a dhaba. Frankly, yeah, I was staying in the residential suite, of course. I mean, the restaurant, just one restaurant, it's in the basement, it looks like a dhaba. Come on, yeah. Look at the Indian chains. I mean, this is where the globe can learn from Indian experience. Some of our hotel chains offer better than the best anywhere in the world. Like I was in the biggest hotel in Chicago a few months back. Again, residential suite, because that's what the government gives me. 2 days, no water, additional water. Drinking water was supplied. Thirdly, I ring at the counter and say, can I have some drinking water, please? They said, if you want drinking water, come and pick it up on the counter. Would it ever happen in an Indian hotel, even in a one-star hotel? Obviously, no. And of course, here you have a problem of too many. I mean, if you are staying in one of those luxury rooms, you have people turning every corner, somebody asking, what can I do, sir? Sometimes you get fed up. Somebody like me, I don't carry my peers of PA. So every turn, you'll have somebody, sir, what can I do for you? There's too much attention. And too much of a care in some of your hotels. But the point is, we are the benchmark for the whole world in terms of luxury. Let's not doubt it, and that is where we score. I think it's fantastic for the Indian industry. We need to create huge infrastructure across the country. Like yesterday, I had to take a truck from Dimapur to Kohima, 72 kilometers, 4 hours. So obviously, took the job. Now the government of India is 4 laning. Now we need to create this kind of infrastructure, and central government is doing it. The government of India has spent 15 lakh crores, and in terms of dollars, how much would that be? How many billion dollars on creating infrastructure in India? In the road sector, ports, airports. We have some of the finest airports in the country. We have now reached across almost to the district levels under the Udan scheme. But yesterday in Kohima, I was telling people, I'm in a huge hurry. All is this, all my life. So I said, let's not wait for this 4 lane to happen. I said, I'm going to put in money for the tourism ministry to run a helicopter service from Dimapur to Kohima, Kohima to Imphal, and from Imphal back to Dimapur. Let's start this quickly. And it's happening in Arunachal Pradesh. So we need to find ways in which we can push this fast enough at an incredible speed, because I'm in a huge hurry. The Prime Minister is in a huge hurry. We need to push this with the circuit. 490 million people are there across the world. They would love to be on the path of Buddha, basically Bihar and UP. Now, we're creating now 4 lanes and 6 lanes with the entire circuit. And as Devaji said, we can have circuits. That's what will make it possible for people to spend time in India. What's tourism about? It's about being able to retain people in India. I think that is where I think wellness tourism is going to play a big role. Because what comes on wellness tourism is going to stay much longer. I mean, something like Ayurveda. It's not a philosophy. It's something beyond the physical or even mental. Ayurveda comes from the same philosophy as yoga. What is that philosophy? It says, you and I, we are one. The whole universe is one. In fact, we go beyond that and say, just not the humanity, the entire planet is one. And therefore, the cure for you doesn't lie in some chemical factory. It lies right here, the universe. I think this is the heart of Ayurveda, which we are studying. So this is typically passing wherever you go. You talk so much about Indian philosophy. What is it? It crystallizes into yoga and Ayurveda. When you get a feeling that you and I are one, that our humanity is one, and therefore, happiness is indivisible. I can't decide. Me, my children will be happy. No. If you truly believe in the yoga philosophy, happiness is indivisible. Unless you make the world happier, you cannot be happy. Now, that is the basic philosophy of yoga and Ayurveda. So, we have so much. And I see Ayurveda as a future. Wellness, Indian doctors are fantastic. All over the world is doing a great job. In India, we have some of the finest hospitals. We need to put things together. Like I was telling one of the chains, I asked some of these Chinese people, what is it that you want? He said, no, we just want a couple of things in your hospitals. I think this is something we should say, I can also take it up. Sir, we want somebody who can speak our language. I think we should have hospitals specializing possibly in one country or two countries. Okay, somebody specializes in China, Chinese travelers. You should have Chinese translator. Number two, you should have Chinese food being served there. Is it difficult? No. This is what we call planning. Exactly what does a potential customer want, and then we designing our thing. It's not expensive, it's not complicated. I think it's pretty simple. Okay, X hospital can cater to Chinese, Y hospital can cater to Koreans and to French. Why not? I have this Somadhiram resort in Toronto. We call it Ayurveda. It specializes only in German customers. So you get the German-speaking translators there. You have German food being served there. See, that is the right. You can't get a place there in 3 months. You need to have at least booking that in 6 months in advance. And throughout the season, 365 days, something will do in business. So it's possible, ladies and gentlemen. There are so many issues we discussed, but I'm glad you're all here. I've given you a touch upon kind of broadly what tourism is, what we are doing. And of course, this year we have the India Travel Mart for the first time. Everything done by that industry. Everything. And of course, I just need to compete in that. Yeah. So, we all need to work together, put our brains together. Tell me, is there something more which you want from the ministry, from my ministry? I'm willing to do it anytime. I'm open, give me a call. Please catch me anytime. Not a problem. You don't need an ID check before you meet me. You can meet me anytime. Not a problem at all. So let's work together. Let's see how do we take these numbers. I'm just not really interested in numbers. I want a big money. People say longer, occupy my rooms, I have a taxi, I have an interpreter. This is what creating jobs. This is what is equity. Just not creating jobs for only postgraduate and doctors. I want jobs for the illiterates, for the semi-illiterates. Like this is for example, it will be employing X number of illiterate people. You're cleaning people, I'm sure, every one of your friends. And you have semi-literate people. And then you have your professional people with degrees and PhDs. I think this, nothing like tourism to provide equity in the country, access to jobs for all across the spectrum. I think this is what is wonderful about tourism. Ultimately, it goes beyond money, it goes beyond jobs. I think it's about uniting the world together. I think there is so much. The world needs, we don't need to build walls anymore. Let him build these walls. Yeah. I think we just need to open our hands and say, wow, the world is beautiful. Life is short. We all need to be happy together. And one thing I decided when I got into the IAS is, I'm here to make the world happier. The moment I quit IAS, I decided I'm quitting to make the world happier. The moment I joined the government, I said, I'm here to make the world happier. If I don't spread happiness, I don't think life makes any sense. Unless I bring happiness in the lives of people, that it makes sense. I choose an industry. We have the best instrument to spread happiness around the world. We like to partner with the CII in the long run, give us suggestions, we can meet as often as we want, and not just end up, once in a while, hear things, because I can't do them very often. And let's sit down and discuss and see what this exactly is specifically what we need to do. It's nice to discuss broad ideas, but actually it's in the detailing, it's in the commas and the full stops that things make radical change. So those full stops and commas, we need to work together with you. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful time. Those very good to come from abroad. Welcome to India. We come from outside Delhi, from other places. Don't go away after this place. Please go and see. Visit at least a few places. Occupy a few rooms, have a few taxes and go. Thank you very much.